So it looks like the CBC has turned on Chrystia Freeland.
You told my colleague Catherine Cullen that you're running against the Ottawa establishment, the establishment that you have been a key part of for a decade. Why on earth would anyone believe the claim that you are against the establishment, that you are not part of the establishment?
Look, I think that people can see very clearly the dynamics of the race. But the reason that I'm asking people...
That's not what my question was. I said, why would people believe that you are not part of the establishment, given the proximity you had to the Prime Minister for a decade? Are you actually just saying that because that is the only possible way for you to win at this stage?
Rosie.
Wow, Rosie's getting salty. Now, I know she has been inconsolable since Justin Trudeau announced he was going to be resigning. And also, too, I mean, you know, he split up with his wife, and he still hasn't called her up for Netflix and chill. But to be fair, if he's going to call anybody for Netflix and chill, it's probably going to be Klaus.
We penetrate.
Rosie.
You can actually hear the hurt and shock in her voice there. I mean, after all those years of loyal toadying from the CBC and Rosie, well, A2, Rosie, A2.
Not at all. And I think it's important for people to remember that I resigned. I'm the minister who had the courage to do that. I'm the minister who saw that we needed to be relentlessly focused on the threat that Donald Trump posed.
Would you not have had a better...
And Rosie, I'm not just saying that today.
Yeah.
I said that on December 16th, before these measures were in place.
Would you not, Chrystia Freeland, have had a better opportunity to help the country had you stayed at the cabinet table in whatever capacity the Prime Minister wanted you to? You would have been able to take on Donald Trump right now.
Now, Chrystia Freeland is awful, right? She's just as awful as Mark Carney. And the reason she resigned was because Justin Trudeau was about to humiliate her by forcing her to read a humiliating fall economic statement, and then immediately replace her with Mark Carney. Right up until that moment, she was a loyal soldier. She loved everything that her and Justin did together. I mean, who can forget her giggling glee as she was announcing the freezing of bank accounts of people who had the wrong ideas.
So you're confirming that accounts have been frozen, both personal and corporate.
But anyway, this seems a little aggressive from Rosie. And we're really not used to seeing her actually aggressively challenge any liberal politician ever. In fact, it almost seems a little unnatural for her, like maybe there's some sort of just agenda she has to follow. But as I said, Freeland and Carney are basically the same person, and they're certainly both insiders. The only difference is that one of them is actually supported by Trudeau's people, and obviously by Trudeau himself. Carney is clearly Trudeau's pick. Here, this is from January 12th from Brian Lilly. Trudeau's team goes all in on Carney while Clark implodes. Internal party politics at play in decision to back Carney rather than the woman who stood with Trudeau for more than a decade. Let's see, former top advisor Gerald Butts is part of Carney's campaign team, while others close to Trudeau, including Trudeau's chief of staff Katie Telford, are making calls on Carney's behalf. So, Gerald Butts being Trudeau's former top advisor. 3 independent Liberal sources tell The Sun that Telford has been seeking support for Carney with key supporters and that much of the PMO staff is behind Carney as well. That's something the Carney campaign is disputing, and I don't believe them. If you've got Gerald Butts, Trudeau's former top advisor and childhood friend, you've got the rest of them. And Carney has been connected to Trudeau for a long time. Former Bank of Canada Governor Mark Carney advising PM on COOF economic response. This is from August 10th, 2020. How about this? Trudeau told Freeland that Carney would replace her as finance minister, and he told her that over Zoom. That's when she resigned. Not until then, not until he was about to humiliate and stab her in the back. After years of loyal service harming Canadians. So even though Chrystia Freeland is absolutely 100% an insider, in fact, her and Carney are basically just the same person if you look at policy, if you look at ideology, but clearly Chrystia Freeland is amazingly kind of the outsider here. And Rosemary Barton is actually proving it with this interview. Now, none of this actually makes any difference because enough Canadians have had enough of the Liberals that they have no hope in the next election anyway. Whether it's in the spring or whether it's in October or whether it's in 2026, the longer it goes, the worse it's going to get. Because increasing taxes and regulations to cripple the energy sector, to cripple industry, to drive investment out of the country, yeah, there's just no way that's actually going to improve the economy. But here we have the latest aggregate from February 2nd. Conservatives still at 43%, Liberals 24%. They're not seeing a giant bump here. And that's probably somewhere close to the high water mark for them. And I stand by my prediction that Mark Carney, because Mark Carney has been anointed by the Liberal Party, by the media as the next prime minister, and he will be the next prime minister at the end of the leadership race, at least until the next election. But I stand by my prediction that they will actually do worse with him than they would have with Trudeau. Because at least with Trudeau, they have that TrueAnon cult base that are actually motivated to vote. I'm just not sure that this guy is going to get the Trudeau cult excited. I mean, let's be honest. He's got way worse hair. And we haven't even seen his socks yet. Anyway, that's all I'm going to say about that. Please like, share, and subscribe. Subscribing really helps me out. I thank you for that. I will see you next time.